So I'll start at the point where I was told not to move, not to flinch, not to try anything stupid. As he was talking, I was trying to focus on my breathing and my surroundings, listening to people screaming and running until everyone was told to calm down. Once it became silent, I focused on what was being held and pressed against the back of my skull. And I knew what it was. It was hard and it was solid. If I was going to die that way, I wanted to face my killer and look him into his soul. As I turned around, my whole life flashed before my eyes as I stood on the spot and I was looking down the barrel of a 9mm Glock and staring this man into his eyes. The person on the other end of the gun had the say on whether I lived or died. And he told me that he had the power now. He told me that he was going to end my life right there and then, and that if I didn't beg for mercy and beg for my life convincingly, that I would be done for. He told me to make a choice. So what would you do if you were standing in the docks of the Crown Court facing prison time and being sentenced? What would you do if your whole life you were gang affiliated, known to the police, and known and spoken about as someone with masses of potential but who will never amount to anything? What would you do if your own mother begged and pleaded for you to leave the streets and the life that you were living alone? All because she was afraid of, and in my mother's words, visiting me back in jail again, but this time for life, or two, burying me before my time. So what would you do? In that moment of life and death, it came clear to me for the very first time that I had volunteered my power over to someone else temporarily. You see, for years I allowed people to have control of my future. For years I allowed people to have control of my destiny. This includes the time I spent in prison as a young adult, being told when to eat, when to sleep, when to shower, when I could speak to my family, friends and loved ones. For years, I led the blind, whilst not realizing that I was blind myself. There came a point where I had to put a stop to it all, and I decided to fight. I decided to fight against myself, fight against the reoccurring habits that put me 10 steps back instead of 10 steps forward. I decided to fight my past and to prove to the people who didn't believe in me wrong. What would you do if you were me? Would you give up? Would you give in to the negative energies of those who didn't and don't believe in you? Well, I didn't. And today, I stand before you as a man who regained his power, and since then has become a father of two, an influencer, a businessman, an actor, and like yourselves now, a graduate. I changed the narrative of my life and have attained accomplishments that I could never have imagined. And today marks a moment in your journey where you too have changed the narrative of your life. Regardless of who you are, your ethnicity, your heritage, your gender, sexual orientation, physical or mental ability, each and every single one of us in this room at some point has faced adversities, but today you are celebrating your educational and personal victory. Success to some may take the form of finances or a house, maybe having children, or various levels of educational status. But success to me is simply the achievement of any goal that you set and you work towards with everything that you have inside of you. And graduating today is the epitome of your success so far. And from this day on, as you discover opportunities and a plethora of open doors, I want to leave 3 pieces of advice with you, if I may. And these are: 1, you can. 2, you are. 3, you will. Number 1, you can. You can make your dreams a reality. You have overcome so much to get to this point and nothing is out of your reach. So when you do feel inadequate and you feel like your dreams are becoming impossible, just think about that word, impossible, for a moment. And let's break that word impossible down into 2 small words. And then you'll realize the solution is staring you in the face. Impossible. I'm possible. So go forth in confidence, knowing that the word impossible is a lie. 2, you are. You are fearless. An acronym for the word fear is false evidence appearing real. At some stage of your journey, you may have moments where you are fearful, but these are just blockages and barriers constructed in the mind to delay, deter, and to disable you. So don't become a victim to fear, but conquer fear. 3, you will. You will often hear the word no along your journey. Trust me, I've heard it many times. But try not to see it as a negative, or because every no is one step closer to your yes. Life is about timing and positioning, and all this is doing is aligning you perfectly for your greatness. Finally, I would like to leave you with this quote from a lady called Marianne Williamson. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It's our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God, and your playing small does not serve the world, and there is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, but it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So today, as graduates, you are liberated to take risks, to influence others in your sphere and follow your dreams even further than you have done so far. One of my other favorite quotes is, every day is a school day. And although you've completed your various courses, life still has so many lessons to teach you. So be patient with yourself and enjoy the journey. And as my parents would say, in their Jamaican accents, patient man ride donkey. So a patient man rides a donkey, the hare and the tortoise. In my life, I changed the narrative, and today you have too. So you said, class of 2019, go forth, be fearless, and I dare you to dream. Thank you.